Welcome to That's So Us
with Ama
and Lo.
Join us every Friday as we talk about everything and anything.
From pop culture to mental health to life experiences.
Everyone needs a vent session, and we're ready to connect with you on so many levels.
Be ready to laugh and even cry. Grab some tissues and a drink.
And join us as we turn our 3 a.m. calls into this podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of That's So Us.
Hello.
Why are all these so awkward?
I know. I don't know why.
I don't either.
It's not that serious.
It's really not that serious. But hey, guys.
Hello.
This week was crazy for me. We're gonna get straight into our highs and lows.
Okay, go.
Because I've been sick. The past 3 times that we've filmed, I've been sick. So annoying. I had a sinus infection, and then I had an ear infection, and now I have pink eye.
Something's wrong with you.
Something's wrong with me. My right eye is it's not doing too well. but I made it. I made it here today. But so that's my low. My high. I spent the week with friends, which is always fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I always want to think about what I'm going to say, and then I forget to think about it. So my high, I went to a concert last night, and it was actually really fun. I didn't know what to expect because it's Rebecca Black, and obviously everyone knows her from Friday and that time of her life, but she's obviously grown because it's been 10 years. But I'm not a avid listener. I don't know if that's the word, but I don't listen to her religiously. But her tickets were $25, and I was like, oh, it could be fun, and it was actually really fun. So that's my high. My low today. I was telling Lauren before, but I woke up and I literally thought I was gonna be killed by my headache. It was so bad. I slept 90% of the day. I feel so bad for my dog because he just slept with me the whole day and he did nothing. But I actually thought I was dying. When I would stand up, it would be dragging me down. So that would be my low. But now I'm fine, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm also doing better. My eye's doing better, so I just got to keep putting the drops in.
Yeah.
But today was rough for the both of us.
No, literally. And I hate eye drops because I feel before they go in, my eye closes because it just knows.
I know. I'm just so scared, holding it above. I'm so scared.
And it's not good. People are always oh, make someone else do it. But that's even worse for me because then I don't know when they're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So then it stresses me out.
No, every time it just drops, it scares me.
Yeah. And then my eye closes immediately. So I'm oh, well, I hope it went in. I don't know.
I hope it went in. I missed a couple times, but
that's okay. So the card of the day is what's something that you're really good at? It's a fun little one.
It is, but low-key, I could kind of get deep.
Oh, okay.
Should I get deep?
Yeah, if you
want to.
I
was going to say immediately where my mind went to was in the past, I used to always, I could never say something positive about myself. And I feel now, I have a lot of qualities that I like about myself that I could be oh, I'm good at this, this, and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel my sister always says that I'm good at everything. But I think it's just because once I put my mind to something, doing nails, for example, I was I'm going to do it. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I'm good at nails. I like to do hair and makeup. I feel I'm good at that. I also I don't know, styling, fashion, stuff like that. I like that. So thankfully I can say that I'm good at a lot of stuff, which I wasn't able to say before, but I'm not saying that in a cocky way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I'm proud of my growth of where I've come to be able to say that.
Mm-hmm. You know, I feel that. I feel I can also say stuff, but I'm still in the phase where I'm I feel awkward saying it.
Yeah.
Because I'm I could say it, but then I overthink it. I'm oh, am I actually good at that? Or am I being too much? See, now I can't even think of things. This is embarrassing. I think I'm good at editing because but I do that as see, the thing is, I want to find things that I'm good at that don't make me money because I want things that I'm good at that are fun for me, but I haven't found that yet, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything that I'm good at, I've monetized in some way.
Right.
But I used to play guitar and I used to be semi good, but I haven't played in 5 years. But that doesn't answer the question at all. So I would I'd say I'm good at like editing, and I think I'm good at writing poetry. I never really, I mean, I guess I never share
Mm.
that, so that's
Yeah,
something
I
I'm
didn't
good
know
at.
that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you like poetry, but writing, I didn't know
Yeah. I used to have an Instagram. It's still up, so someone can find it one day maybe. There's like 5 things on there, and then I stopped
that.
because I got insecure and I was like, "Oh my god, I think they're really bad," and then I didn't post
Stop.
anything.
Now I
Yeah.
have to look for it.
I think it's pretty easy to find,
Okay.
but maybe you won't. That's that.
That's that.
Today's topic is, I don't know if it's for everyone, but it could be if like people care to listen. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
but we're gonna talk about a book that we both read. It's Madison Beer's memoir called The Half of It, and it was released on April 25th, so like not too long ago. It hasn't even been a month, and I think there's good topics to talk about in it.
Yeah, literally, she dives into a lot, so I'm excited to.
Hmm. And like as people who have been like fans, I mean, I don't know if you relate to that, but as someone who's been like a fan and like supporter of her for like so long, there's things she spoke about that like I didn't even know like happened or like
Yeah.
present in her life.
Oh, 100%. And it's just crazy also knowing that like I knew of her and knew her during the times where like such traumatic things were like happening
Hmm.
to her,
And
but
like
I
we would have
didn't
never
like know
known.
it. Yeah. But
Yeah. And some of them were pretty recent too.
it just goes to show that you whatever you see on social media like really is like she says only the half of it because
Yeah.
you don't know everyone's full story.
Yeah, like if you relate it to yourself, like for me, like most like sometimes I get deep on the internet, but like most of the times, like especially on Instagram, I only show like fun things in my life, which obviously
Mhm.
is not the case 90% of the time or 99% of the time. So like I don't know why people think it's different for like celebrities because we all
Right.
do it.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely all do it. Like I
Yeah.
definitely curate my feed to what I want people to see. But also I just like the aesthetics of it. But
Yeah.
like I'm not going to post myself like crying. I just don't want
No.
people to see that side of me.
Hmm.
But I think that I do sometimes find time to like talk about mental health on there, so which
Hmm.
is important.
I think I maybe I talk about it a little too much sometimes, but I've definitely had videos on YouTube where I'm crying in them, which is embarrassing to think about. But, like, at the same time, like, whatever, like, people fucking
Yeah, because it's
cry,
right, exactly. There's definitely
but
plenty of videos of me on the internet crying.
yeah, but I think they're posted by other people.
Posted by other people. The person we're talking about today.
Yeah. But,
That
yeah.
video of me.
No, it's so funny, like, literally the screenshots just saved in my phone, and then whenever I think about it, I send it to you because it's
Okay,
just so
people don't know what
funny.
we're talking about.
No, maybe we should share
Madison.
it on the
Yeah, Madison put
stories.
out. Oh no, no. Madison put out a tour diary for her tour, and there's one song that well, okay, her all of her music makes me really emotional.
Mhm.
But there was one song in particular, Effortlessly, where I can really relate to it. So hearing it live was really just like it hit hard.
Mhm. No, but, like,
Very, very hard.
when I think it was in the book, when she spoke about why she wrote the song, I related to it in a way, but, like, now that, like, knowing, like, more of what she went through, I was like, "Oh," like, I didn't like, every single lyric, I didn't think of it in, like, that way,
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
which is, like,
It's
crazy to, like, know, like,
I was just gonna
everything.
say, okay, I'll get back to it, but hearing her music now from
Mhm.
like after reading her book, hearing her
Yeah.
music, it's just like it completely changed my
Different.
perspective. Yeah,
Like, I
it's
can't
so
listen to
crazy.
melodies anymore. I used to be like that bitch that was like, "Oh my god, Melanie, sing melodies," and now, like, now I feel bad. Like, obviously, whatever, but, like,
Yeah,
because it was such, like, a traumatic time in her life, and here I am telling her to sing it,
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so hearing Effortlessly live was really, really emotional for me.
Mhm.
And so I was crying, and her photographer, Beth, the US tour, she captured that moment. It was the Detroit show, and I was just like sobbing. It was so bad. And it's not even I was crying because it's like, oh my God, Madison, but it's like the
Yeah, it's the
song
lyrics
just
and
got me
stuff, yeah.
so emotional. And I was just going through it at the time. And yeah. So there's a video on YouTube, obviously her tour diaries, and then she like would repost it like
And it would
on
zoom in on
her
your face.
stories. It would zoom in on my face and it was so ugly. It was
I'm gonna
so
ask her to do
bad.
it again, to post it again,
Oh, it was so
just for
bad. I have
you.
to ask her. I have to ask her why.
Because she has to show
Like
the
it was just
emotions of her
ugly.
fans.
I
Like, I
know,
made
but
this bitch cry, like, hello?
it was so ugly. So yeah, there and then to make matters even worse, I posted it on my Instagram for what? Like for what? I look so bad.
Yeah, you were like, "Everyone's gotta see this."
Yeah, honestly, I had to take matters into my own hands. I was like,
Yeah,
"It's
you're
on the
like, "Well, the
internet. I'm
whole
gonna
fucking
post
world."
it."
I mean, your following versus her following,
Yeah,
like, you posting it,
but
what is it, like
no, but it's people I know, so
I'm sure people you know follow her. Actually,
yeah, but not that many, to be
I'm gonna
honest.
go look. I'm curious. Other than, like, people that, like, obviously I met through her, like, I don't think a
Yeah.
lot of people well, actually, that's a lie. 232 mutual followings. That's a lot, actually.
Well, I feel like a lot of people follow her, from the people that I know, but I don't think that they listen to her music.
Oh, yeah, like, I
So
didn't
if you're one of
have
those people, dive into it because it's really, really good.
mhm.
And she's releasing new music soon, so
Literally supposed to be next week, so but
crossing our
nothing's
fingers.
yeah. Maybe she'll announce it on Friday when this goes up,
Oh, that'd
just
be
for
nice.
us. We have a lot to talk about, so we kinda, like, put it into, like, the topics, I guess?
Yeah,
But it's, of course, probably gonna go all over the place because my mind just thinks of random things at certain times, and then it just comes out. But I
me
thought we
too.
would talk about at the beginning because it's at the beginning of the book when she talks about, like, the beginning of her career struggles. If anyone doesn't know, she was, like, basically found on YouTube from, like, Scooter Braun and Justin Bieber, and then Justin posted her online, like, one of her videos, and,
Yeah.
like, then kinda went viral. That's actually how I found her because I follow Justin.
Mhm.
How did you find her?
I honestly don't remember. I feel like it was definitely through YouTube. I had seen a YouTube video of her because I was very much
Mhm.
into YouTube.
It
So
probably was after
something,
it went like, right when it went viral because, like,
maybe.
when he posted it, I remember I don't remember the exact number of views, but it was definitely lower than 10,000, and then, like,
Yeah.
the next day, it already had, like, 1,000,000, so it was probably the same
Well,
time.
yeah, probably.
But yeah, she speaks about how she was, like, thrown into this, like, world, basically, and something that stuck out to me was when she was talking with her mom, I think. Well, she was trying on clothes for I don't remember what it was, a photo shoot or
Yeah.
something, and she's talking about how, like, she didn't like what the clothes looked like and, like, it didn't feel like her, and she felt like she was being, like, a character at that time, and that's, like, kinda sad, especially when, like, you tell a parent and, like, obviously, like, I don't know what I would do in that instance if I was a parent because, I'm not in that position,
Mhm.
but, like, for your like, I don't know. I feel like it's just sad that, like, she had to, like, basically pretend to be someone she's not just to, like, get a career that she wanted, but I feel like that
Yeah.
happens so much.
Oh, yeah. But and also she was so young. She was 12
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
everything started. And, like, I don't know, just going back to what you said about, like, parents,
Mhm.
you obviously want, like, the best for your child, but I feel like it would be so hard to find that boundary of, like, okay, but, like, when is it too far? You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Like, at 12, like, I don't even know, like, what I would want. Like, I don't even sometimes I don't even know what the hell, like,
Yeah.
who I am at, like, certain times in my life at this age, like, I can't imagine at 12, like, doing that.
Oh, no. No. And being, like, pushed in it so young. I mean, I know it's, like, what she wanted to do, but everything
Mhm.
that comes with fame and that world, it's, like, I think it's way too she was way too little to
Mhm.
experience it all that soon, I
Yeah.
think,
And I
in my
think it
opinion.
depends too what kinda team you have behind you. Because
Mhm.
there's the people that care about you, then there's the people that care about what you can give them, and I think that is, like, really makes or breaks a person.
Yeah, 100%.
At one point, she said or she wrote, I was given a mold and told to squeeze myself into it. Like that, like is so like fucked up. And then when she spoke about, there's a lot of people that had opinions about this part where she spoke about how she was making music for fans she didn't want,
Yeah.
which like I think people took it in a way her saying like the fans that she got then were not the fans she wants now, and then people were like, well, I became a fan then. So I feel like there was like a lot of talk about that. Um, because when I was young, like Melodies was a bop to me. Like I didn't like now that I listen to it, it's not that it's bad because like she was obviously so
No.
young, but it's just like not the
Yeah.
type of music I would listen to now.
Right.
But like I feel like yeah, at 12, like 13, 14, it was like a bop.
It was 100%.
Yeah. And like I'm sure there's fans that like were there at that time and like now they're no longer like fans. But I feel like a lot of them like still stuck around.
Yeah. Well,
So
I think also it's like, for me at least, I am a fan of the person more so for who they are as a person
mhm,
than anything else.
yeah. But then it's like when she was younger, she was acting unlike not like herself because she was told to do that. So
It's true.
it's like weird to think about. But
Yeah.
like also when I was young, like I don't think I really like looked into like the person that much to be honest versus now.
Mm. See, well, I was what? I was older whenever I started like when I like found her. It was still through YouTube, but I was older, like 15, 16.
Okay, so then I was like
Yeah.
because I would found her during that YouTube and I'm pretty sure she was like 12 or like 11
Yeah.
maybe. So I had to be
Yeah.
12 or 13,
Right.
which is wild. Like that was so like
Yeah, I
young.
know.
Like I don't know. It's, like, cool to, like, be, like, a part of something from, like, the beginning because like, you can see that evolution, but, like, also,
Yeah.
like I said, like, it's crazy to, like, know that, like, during that time, like obviously, I'm fucking, like, 12, 13. Like, how am I supposed to know someone's going through it? But, like, to, like, read it
Right.
back and be like, "Wow," like, at that time, I was out here, like, tweeting her, like, all these things, and, like, she was, like, not okay, or, like,
Mhm.
even I think this got going, like, way off track, but, like, um, even when, like, we would talk on, like, You Now and stuff, like I don't know, just, like, thinking about it, I'm like, "Wow," like, that's what she was going through when, like, we would speak or, like, I
Yeah.
guess, like, even jumping forward or I don't know, should I jump that forward? When she talks about, like,
You
Xanax
can,
and
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah, it's
and she
fine.
said, like it was as recent as, like well, in the book, she said 6 months ago, so, like, I don't really know, like, when, like, she finished writing that, but, like,
Mhm.
if it was, like, really, like, a year ago, like, that means, like, when we met her for the first time, like, she was still going through that, which, like, blows
Right.
my mind because, like, I would have never, like, known.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense? Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so crazy because like whenever we met her and whatever, like
Mhm.
she just composes herself with so much grace that you just really never know.
Mhm.
Like it really was crazy reading it. And I felt
Yeah.
bad. I want to give her a
Oh, me
hug.
too.
Ugh. Like I just felt so bad
Yeah.
with everything that she was talking about in there.
Mhm. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't know what I would do in, like, certain cases, honestly, like when she talks
Mhm.
about her nudes being leaked, like, for the whole fucking, like, internet and, like, world to see it, and, like, even to this day, there's been times where, like, I would be scrolling on Twitter or, like not yeah, I think I saw it once on TikTok, but I was scrolling on Twitter mostly, and, like, it
Mhm.
would just, like, pop up, and I'd be like, "The fact that this is still going around
Yeah.
is, like, concerning."
Extremely concerning because she was a child.
Yeah,
Like,
and, like, even though she's grown now, like, those videos of her were still when she was a fucking child, like,
yeah,
I I don't know.
it's so crazy. No, she talks about how like really nobody understood that aspect of it, that she was a kid and
Mhm,
everyone was just making fun of her and like sending her so much hate and whatever about what she had done or what she was doing in the videos, air quotes on that, but nobody really like was
tried to help
talking about
her.
yeah, and talking about the fact that she was a child.
Mhm,
A child who was just exploring herself and her sexuality, and they were being so so nasty towards her. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And like I remember when this all went down because like I said, I was a fucking 11-year-old on Twitter, like and like at the time, like I didn't really realize how young she was because I was the same age. And like in my head, when I was 14, I was a grown ass adult. So like
Right.
so like when it was going around, in my head, I was just like, oh my God, like how can someone do that to someone? But I never like crossed my mind, honestly, that I was like, oh my God, like we're babies because I didn't think I was a
Yeah.
baby. So I didn't associate her being that young. Now being like 25, realizing how young she was, I was like, it
Yeah.
makes it even more fucked up than it was.
Oh, 100%. Like, ugh, it grosses me out. The response that people were giving her, it was just like, ugh, it makes me
Hmm.
so sad for her.
Yeah.
And to have to, I know she mentioned something in the book about like when she receives like a text late at night and she like it takes her
Yeah.
back to that
Yeah.
moment. It's like it's such a trigger for her and it's so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah. And it's so sad that it's been so long and it's still something that like triggers her. And
Yeah.
the fact that she spoke about how she was like she's scared of the dark. Like I wouldn't have even like
No.
known that. And now it makes sense that she always has that like galaxy thing on like all the time. Like it makes
Mhm.
sense now, like listening, like reading it. And like when she spoke about tour, how like each time the lights went out, she would be stressed. Like I would have
Right.
never like even
Never
realized
would have
that.
known. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
wild.
I know.
I literally jumped from like 12 different things at once. Me trying to like be like, okay, let's make like a list and then like not even following it.
It's fine. I feel like it always ends up like that.
Yeah.
But I feel
It's
like
just
the
hard when you want
conversation
to talk
still
about.
flows.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. We can get into the friendship, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know where that is in the book, but yeah.
Me either. Oh, because okay, before previously she was talking about her addiction with Xanax, and then she said it
Oh,
wasn't long
okay.
after this that I ended up meeting my best friend, Lena. I want to meet her.
Oh my God, it's
I want to
same.
meet her and I want to hug
But
her
I
and I
feel like
want to
she's
thank
just not
her.
like she would
Oh,
never meet it.
yeah.
I don't think she's like met like
Hi, Lena, if you're
many of her
watching.
friends
Yeah,
listening, not
if you're
watching.
listening, if you're listening. I think that she has a beautiful brain,
Hmm.
just like Madison.
Yeah.
And I mean, the way that they met was through Instagram. I know Lena had posted, which I had seen at the time, and I had read. She had posted just like the nicest message. It's actually at the end of the Target exclusive like book, whatever. But I remember reading and I was like, oh my God, like she just gets it. Like she really
Hmm.
just understands. And it was as if she had took the words from my brain and typed it out and posted it.
Yeah.
I just
But
didn't
I also
I didn't
didn't
have
know it was part of her college like work.
was it? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it says. Maybe if I'm wrong, like but I'm pretty sure she wrote it like as like a college thing, but then she took like parts that she wrote and then posted that online.
Mm, mhm.
Um, but yeah,
But
like I
she
remember reading it too.
posted it on
Instagram
her
fan
it
account.
was like a fan account, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
just
wild to me.
yeah, it's so crazy.
And like she speaks about how like I think this is something I can relate to, where she speaks about not having like many well Madison speaks about not having many friends where she can talk about mental health like openly with because I've had
Yeah.
friends where I can like speak about it but like no one like kind of gets it in a way or like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. A lot of people just think mental health is like you're depressed and like that's like the extent to mental health like that's the only thing when there's like so many layers that like no one ever talks about and
Yeah.
sometimes it makes me feel crazy, but yeah, she wrote about that.
Yeah. Think her writing about her relationship with Lena was like almost like a mirror, like our relationship.
Yeah.
Because the way that like how close Madison is with Lena, I feel like is as the same way. We're literally the
Mhm.
same.
Yeah. No,
Which
I
it was
feel
just
that
really
too.
like sweet, like reading it. Because I'd never
Yeah.
met someone who just gets me and understands and listens
Mhm.
and is supportive and I don't know, it's just like the relationship is just the same. I feel like
Yeah. No, when I
it's
was
just so
reading it too,
crazy.
I was like, "Oh, like this reminds me of us because it's like the same like you said."
Yeah.
And we technically met like online like they did.
Yeah, we did.
And then she said how like like the day they met, they like talked on the phone for like hours and like that's kind of the same thing for us.
Mhm.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what else she said. I'm like
I
trying to
don't
remember the
either.
book, but I'm like I read
I
this
know,
way
me
too
too.
long ago.
Me too. I finished this in 3 days. Actually, I think it
Yeah.
was 2 days.
Okay, she also says how she's the other side of her brain, and I feel like we say that all the time
All the time.
because it's like true.
I know. I mean, there's, like, these moments where we just, like, know what the other person is thinking.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%.
But it's nice having those friendships where, like, you just know. Like, you
Yeah.
just know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think they're like the same, but they're also like different, which is like
Mhm.
healthy, I think,
Yeah.
because like then you can like bring out different parts of like each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that part was fun. And yeah, I mean, I don't have the Target version obviously because Target doesn't exist here, but I read it off someone else's. And like I thought it
Mhm.
was sweet how like they both wrote something about each other.
Yeah. I'm, like, looking back through it right now.
And, like, even the way how Madison, like, messaged her and was like, "What's your number?" Like, all these things. I'm like, that was, like, low key, like, the same thing that I did, except
Literally. Yeah, she said, "I messaged her instantly, and now looking back, the fact that I gave her my number so quickly shows me my heart felt safe with her right away."
mhm,
Yeah, Alina saw me, the real me, more honestly than most people who have known me for years without even meeting me. That's so true.
yeah,
Very, very true. I'm glad she has someone like that in her life, though.
yeah, because, like, I feel like a lot of her friends obviously are, like, in this, like, the entertainment world in some capacity, like, not all of them are, like,
Yeah,
singers or stuff, but, like, a lot of them are, like, influencers and, like, have big followings like her, so I feel like it, like, is nice to have someone that isn't in that world and, like, at the same time, I feel like when you're famous, like, there's, like, so many fucking clout chasers or, like, people who will become friends with you just because
yeah,
like, they're like, "Oh, like, this person's doing well." And, I've had people that, like, when they see certain people talking to me or certain people end up following me, like, they'll reach out and be like, "Oh, like, hey, like, we haven't spoken in, like, a while, like, how are you doing?" Or things like that, or, like, "Let's meet up," like and I hate people like that because I can tell when like, I feel like in my gut, I can tell when someone's being genuine or not because, like, I've obviously
yeah.
reached out to people and been like, "Oh, like, we haven't seen each other in a while," like, whatever, but, like, I feel like it's just different sometimes, and you can tell when someone's, like, being genuine or not, or, like, when people try and become your friend when, like, they see, like, something good's happening in your life. And I
Right.
just, like, don't like that, like, I can't
Oh,
stand
no,
it
I
or,
don't
like,
either.
it's just annoying.
Yeah. There was one time where, we were in LA. We'd seen Madison after, like, festival, because
Mhm,
she was performing at Pride, and this guy from my high school reached out to me, and he's, like, super into music, that, like,
mhm.
world, and he was just like, "Hey, can you, like, talk to Madison about" or, like, I don't know, ask her for, like, advice or whatever, and I was like, like, I can only do so much. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But, like, we hadn't talked in ages, so it's just like, people
mhm.
always reach out like that.
Yeah, no, I had someone actually recently for, like, the book tour, they found me on TikTok and they saw that I was in New York, and I guess they, like, saw that, like, I liked Madison because I didn't post about, like, going to the book tour on TikTok, and they were like, "Oh, like, are
Mhm.
you gonna, like, go see Madison?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah," and then they DM'd me, and they were like, "Hey, like, so happy for you, like, you deserve this so much, can you get her, like, to send me a video or, like, can you give her my Instagram so I can talk to her because, like, I'm not meeting her?" And I was
Ew.
like, 1, I don't know you,
Yeah.
and 2, like, I don't know, I would never ask someone to do that for me. Like, for example, like,
Mhm.
on my birthday last year, one of our friends, Nini, like, I had literally just started speaking to her, like, a week prior to my birthday. I don't really it was, like, randomly on Twitter, and, like,
Mhm.
she told Madison it was my birthday, and I had friends that were there that I've known longer that, like, didn't tell her, but, like, not that I needed her to, like, know it was my birthday, but, like, it's, like, people like that, like, that's, like, when it's, like, a genuine thing versus, like, I would
Yeah.
never be like, "Oh, like, tell, like, Madison it's my birthday," like, or,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
tell
yeah.
Madison this like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, weird to me. Or like
Yeah.
I've had people from my high school, obviously it's always from high school,
I
be like,
know.
"Oh, like how well like do you know her? Like do you think you can like help me out with like their business shit like when they want to like give someone something or whatever?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"I don't know her like that, first of all, like,
Right.
and second of all, like even if I did, like you bullied me in high school. Like there's no
Yeah.
way that like
Let's talk
I'm
about
helping you out."
that.
Yeah.
No,
So like
that's crazy.
imagine like us experiencing things like that. Not that we're like nobodies, but like compared to like her level, we're
Oh,
nobodies. But
100%.
like yeah, like I can't even imagine like the amount of people that like try and come into her life like just to
Just
get
to
something
want
from
something.
her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I think we were talking well, not I think we were talking about this. We are like even for like next tour, like I know for a fact whether it's for the US, Europe, or whatever the heck, like there's gonna be people that are gonna message us because they
Mhm.
like think like I don't fucking know, like we're gonna get on her bus or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You never really know what people want, though.
that's
That's
why I'm just
crazy.
like the people that talk to me now, which is like 3 people, like that's it. Like once like everything starts running up again,
Yeah.
like people try and get stuff. Like I know you weren't my friend 2 months ago, so
Right.
what do
Right.
you want from me now?
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like that sounds really mean, but I don't know. I'm just like over people.
It's not even mean, but it's just like I feel like we have very good intuition and we know, like, when
hmm
people are being genuine. Well, sometimes
Sometimes you're a little
sometimes
off,
there's a little bit of
but
a yeah, we're a little bit off, but for the most part, we're really good at that, I think.
hmm yeah. I mean, I think we've like called it with like certain people.
Yeah.
Um, but sometimes we like to give the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. I just
Mhm.
know like next tour, like I'm just like gonna keep to myself, talk to you and my two other friends, and like that's it. Like
Mhm.
screw everyone else. Like I don't have time for anything.
Screw everyone else.
But I don't know. Yeah, see that sounds mean, but like I just like don't have time to be used because I feel like even last tour, like people like used me and like I just don't like that feeling. It's a little
Yeah,
shitty.
it is, especially 'cause, well, at least for me, like, I kind of experienced that growing up,
Mhm.
like, feeling that feeling of, either being, like, a second choice or just being used for, like, whatever it may be. So, it sucks when even in, like, your 20s, you're still experiencing that from,
Yeah.
like, people who are like, a lot younger too, so I'm like, I don't wanna be part of the drama.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
So
I'm like so used to like being used for like whatever someone needs and then like when they're done.
yeah,
I'm like I don't have time for that anymore.
no, oh, 100% no. Healthy boundaries will be placed.
Yeah. I already low key, I feel like you already have them up. Like
Oh, yeah,
I think I do too for the most part. But
yeah.
sometimes I'm just like I feel like I like sometimes I'm too nice to people, and then, like,
Mhm.
I give in, and then, like, I obviously get fucked over, and then I'm like, "Oh," like
Mm.
but I'm getting better. I just, like, have a hard time I don't know what I have a hard time with, a lot of things apparently.
A lot of things. It'll get better though with time.
Yeah, maybe when I'm 30. I don't know. Almost there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, yeah. Anyways, that hella went off track. Um,
For real, I don't even know where we were at.
me either. Well, we were talking about her and Lena, and, like, then we got into, like yeah. So we spoke about how it's, like, nice that she has someone because
Mm,
it's hard in that industry, I think. Okay, I think another part in the book that stuck out to me actually was recently when she was talking about how she had like a really long day at work and she came home and she like just took whatever pill she found because she wanted to sleep. And then she kind of took like a mix of like I guess pills that didn't flow with each other. And she called Lena and her boyfriend Nick was there. And they ended up calling like the paramedics and stuff. And the fact that she was like more concerned about like and like yeah, she cared more about the fact that this can get in the media versus her health because she didn't wanna go to the hospital was, like, so sad
mhm,
because, like, I think now she realizes, like, "Oh, like, maybe I shoulda went because, like, I
yeah,
low-key coulda died." But, like, that just goes to show how, like, fucked up it is and, like, how I hate, like, news outlets, especially TMZ, like, they are the most, like, fucked up news outlet ever But it's just
Yeah.
sad that like she cared more about that than like her health.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, just imagine, like, oh my God, I can't. I can't. Poor girl. I really, really, reading that was really rough, to be honest.
Yeah, because it was also very recent
Yeah.
and like yeah, I don't know how deep I want to get in this right now, but
As deep as you want.
maybe there should have been a trigger warning at the beginning of this, but
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think with like reading stuff like that, like as someone who like went through like kind of this not the same exact things, obviously, because like we don't live the same life, but like as
Mhm.
someone who's like had suicidal tendencies and like different things like that, I think it was like hard to read it because like in my like even with, like my friends and stuff, like when shitty stuff happens to them or when they feel a certain way, like I feel so bad. But then when it's to myself, like I can't feel the same thing as that. Like when she was talking
Yeah.
about like suicide attempts and stuff, like I felt so bad for her. When I think about my own experiences with that, I was just like, I should have just got over it or something like that. So like I need to like reframe my brain in that way, but, like, reading
Yeah.
it, like, really, like, hit because I was like, "Wow, like, we're more similar in certain ways than I thought."
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
No, there was one part in the book though that I know I'm kind of um talking about something else, but she was like, "Oh, the thought of killing myself was so normal to me at that point that I had forgotten it wasn't something everyone pondered on a daily basis."
Mhm.
Like, what a scary thought and feeling, especially being someone who has experienced that.
Mhm.
Like, I used to, thankfully, I'm out of that place in my life, but I used to wake up every morning wishing that I was still asleep. And
Mhm.
to be able to, like, I don't know, just reading that really hit me. I was like, yeah, not everyone experiences that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
and I
that's
think, like,
crazy to
reading it
me.
is, like, different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm o out of that, but, like, I mean, I have my days sometimes, um, which I've never, like, told people that, but yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I get what you mean, like, reading stuff, like, it just hits more 'cause then it makes you reflect on your own life. Like, in it, she said I took a picture of it. She said oh, yeah. She said at one point, she was like, "Do you really wanna die, or do you just want to be somewhere else?" And that hit me because especially when I was younger, that was when I was really going through it, and, like, I was like, "I literally, like, want to drop to the floor." Um, I say that in a joking way, but I use a lot of, like, humor to, like, cover it up, but,
Yeah, we
um,
definitely do.
yeah. Like, it was, like, hard for me, especially, like, I grew up, like, getting bullied a lot. So, like, for me, like, sometimes I'd be like, I don't wanna be here, but I don't wanna be, like, 100% gone.
Gone,
But,
yeah.
like, obviously, there's no, like,
In
alternative way to
between.
go. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. But, like, I remember, like, growing up, I was always like that. I was like, "I wish, like, there was just, like, somewhere else I can go or, like, just, like, flop into another universe and just start
Yeah.
over." Um
No, I was, like, the same, and also I feel like that's why I, like, really heavily, like, dissociated and kind of
Mhm.
blocked out, like, a lot of, like, my childhood. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot from, like, before maybe, like, 9 years old, which is
Mhm.
really sad, but
Yeah. I don't even remember my teenage years
really.
because I think those were like growing up, I had like an okay, like I had a like decent childhood. Like I'm fine with my parents and all that. I think it was more for me like when I was like in like the real world and stuff, like
Yeah.
growing up, like I was actually telling my boyfriend this the other day. Like when I was like in school, for example, like I was like the only Asian person in like a lot of my things. And like in elementary school, in high school, even in like university, like I would always look in the room for the first day of class and be like, am I the only Asian person here? Because growing up, like that was something that I dealt with a lot. And like people always looked at me differently when like I don't know. So that's something that stuck with me a lot. And I have no idea what you said before this or where my brain went. So I don't know
It's
what I'm trying to
okay.
say.
I don't
But
even
oh,
know
no, yeah,
either.
you were talking about blocking stuff out, yeah. So for me,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if this is the same for you, but I have, like, instances where I remember, like, a few things and then, like, everything's black, and then, like, there's other things I remember, but it's, like,
Yeah.
physically, like, if I try and go back in my brain, it's, like, I actually see black. Like, it's a visual, like, black, like, thing.
But yeah, yeah, same thing for me.
Yeah, so that's fun.
I
Glad
don't
we
know
can
how
relate.
I know I don't know how we got to that.
Well, we were talking about her saying how, like, do you really wanna die or do you just wanna be in a kinder
Oh, right, right,
space?
right, 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 right.
And yeah, and I think that, like, I resonate with that still sometimes. Like, it's obviously not as bad as it used to be, but, like, sometimes
Mhm.
I'm just like, I don't know, I'm laying in bed and I'm like, "You know what? Like, life would be just so much better sometimes if, like, I just didn't exist," which is so sad to say, but, like, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I just feel that, but then I'm like, "Okay, Amanda,
Yeah.
like, let's calm
It's
down."
those, like, little split moments though, like the little voice in your
Mhm.
head, and then you have to really snap out of it. But
Yeah.
getting to that place of being able to snap out of it for me was really difficult, but I think that I'm at a place now where I'm just like, fine. Actually, I think that I've healed a little bit too much to where like my my life is kind of like sometimes I get bored because I like cut so many people out of my life.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just like,
Maybe it's because you
oh,
live in Ohio. I'm just kidding.
maybe
No, I'm
I
kidding.
live
Um,
literally farms and fields and cows.
yeah, I mean, I guess that could be a little boring. But no, I don't think, like, I fully healed personally. I think, like, I'm, like, in the middle right now. Like, I, like, flop. Like, sometimes I'm, like, have, like, really good months, and then some months I have, like, really shitty ones, and, like, nothing
Mhm.
triggers it. I just think, like, well, I guess some things trigger it, but I don't know. It just, like, flops for me. Like, some days are really good and some days are really bad. And I haven't found that, like,
Yeah.
common place yet.
I think I saw something on TikTok though a while ago where it's like your brain is addicted to sadness when you're in that state constantly. And
Mhm.
that's where I was like when I was in like the depths of my depression, I would be scrolling through TikTok. It would only be like really sad TikToks and I would like drown in this sadness. And it was so hard to just like get out of that. But
Mhm.
it's so crazy because like I did feel like I was addicted to the feeling of being so depressed because that's, like, all I had known
Yeah.
at the time, so getting out of that was, like, really difficult, but
Mhm.
really interesting thought.
You know, I feel that. I do that sometimes still. But I'm like, I'm in a shitty mood, so I'm just gonna, like, stay in this mood because I don't know. I don't know why I do that to my I don't know why people do that to
Yeah.
themselves in general.
Mhm.
But, like, yeah, when I'm sad, I don't try and make myself feel better, I just make myself feel, like, more sad, and then I, like, make up, like, all these scenarios in my head, and then I just, like, spiral. Yeah.
Yeah. I thi not the little giggle.
That's just
I
life.
think I think that it is important, though, to release those emotions, so, like, if you're in a sad place, like, for
Mhm.
me, I listen to sad music, I
Mhm.
cry. I just cry, but it's, like, healthy to get those,
Yeah.
like, emotions out, and
Yeah.
then, I'm
Yeah. I
chilling.
bottle a lot of
But
things in, so maybe, like, that's my
yeah.
weak spot, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't like to confront my emotions, really,
Yeah.
which is
I
bad.
mean, it's definitely a scary thing to do, 100%, especially when you're
Yeah.
talking about, like, trauma that happened in your childhood. It's, like,
Mhm.
scary to, like, go back and think
Yeah.
about it.
But it's just, like, goes to show that, like, this, like, book, like, not just because it's her, like, I
Yeah.
think, like, it just, like, made me think a lot, and it can make a lot of people think a lot of things.
Yeah. But also even us talking about what we've experienced, and this is going into, like,
Mhm.
not even the depths of, like, what I've experienced, but, like, I don't post any of that on my social media. People probably don't know that about me, that I've gone through, like, a tough time, like, it just really goes to show that nobody knows, like,
Mhm.
everything. So,
Yeah,
like,
100%.
be kind to people, 100%. Be kind and compassionate, and because you really never know what people are going through.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kinda like what we said at the beginning, how, like, whatever we like, you post online, like, really just isn't, like, the half of it, like you said, even though, like,
Yeah.
I've definitely, like, on my YouTube, I've spoken about, like, certain things, but I've never, like, really gone into, like, depth with it because I think it's
Mhm.
just scary to talk about. Um,
Yeah.
like, sometimes I get just very uncomfortable, and I think it because, like, it's just me talking about it sometimes. Um, on my YouTube and stuff, it's just like, I don't know. I talk myself out of it because I'm like, okay, like now you're
Yeah.
oversharing. Which like once I posted those things, like I've had people like comment being like, oh, like I relate to that, or like, oh, like I go through that too, which is like, yeah, it just goes to show that like talking about things is important because like you never know who it'll reach. And like even us, like
Yeah.
I know we want to like have like more like mental health talks, which I think is gonna be good, especially for me since I literally don't talk. Um, but like yeah, like it can you don't know who it'll reach, and at the end of the day, just because someone looks like they have everything together doesn't mean they do.
100%. 1,000%. That's not just with Madison and celebrities and whatever, but it's literally everyone. Everyone's going through shit.
Yeah. And like yeah, like people think like, oh, celebrities, they're rich, so like they're happy, but like
Oh
that's
yeah.
not the case. Like I know I say all the time like I want to be rich, but like
Yeah.
obviously like I don't think that like brings happiness. I think you have to find it within yourself.
Hmm.
Um but yeah. Yeah, I think this book was a good like look into her life. And I think especially people who don't know anything about her and like to talk about her need to like
Yeah.
pick up their copy and like read it, because I saw a lot of people being like, "Oh, like why does she have a memoir at like 24, like whatever." But I feel like if they actually like picked it up and read it, like they would understand why she does.
Right.
But people are ignorant, so
Yeah. No,
yeah.
living your life in such a public way, like, especially at 12, like, I feel like 12 to like, well, I don't even know what age, but those are like your peak, like, developmental years. Like, and
Mhm.
she didn't get to experience like a quote normal like childhood.
Yeah.
So to be able to develop socially, physically, like mentally in like the limelight, it's like so,
Yeah.
so crazy to me.
Yeah.
And people still make fun of her and they still,
I don't think it'll ever end
post
personally.
shit and yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, well, that just comes with like the
Mhm.
territory of like being famous and whatever. It's like,
Why
how
does it
about you
have
just like
to?
be
Yeah.
nice? Like,
Yeah.
no, like,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
And it sucks
It's
because I
just,
see it like everywhere with like every celebrity. And like I don't think it personally, I don't think it's ever gonna stop even though it should. I just don't think it will, because there's obviously gonna be those people that are like, don't give a shit.
yeah,
Um and like I mean like if like I don't know. I see like smaller creators or smaller celebrities or whatever like getting that type of hate too. So it's like imagine like the scale of like someone her size or someone like Justin Bieber's size or like Selena Gomez,
yeah.
whatever. Like I can't even imagine like I don't know what
No, I
the fuck I
can't.
would do if I saw that every day. Like I would just like delete myself from like the world.
Like, you have to be such a strong person to be able to constantly like hear those thoughts
Mhm.
about yourself. And also like kudos to like her brother too and like her parents.
Mhm.
Like that just like if I was in her position or no, in her brother's position and like hearing and seeing all of this stuff that like people say about like my sibling, like, oh my God.
Mhm. Oh, I would
It
fight.
makes me want to cry. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It's just like so
Well,
crazy.
I mean, I kind of experienced not something like that, I guess. Um, I'll probably go into it more another time, but when I was younger and I would get bullied, people started bringing in like my dad to it, and like they would like
Mhm,
find him on like Facebook and like start making fun of him the same way they would to
mhm.
me, and that made me more mad than them making like
Yeah,
fun of me.
yeah,
So it just goes to show like I don't know. I think to sum this up, like everyone at the end of the day should be fucking nice to each other, because you never know like what can push someone over the edge. And like I don't know if you want to be the person that pushes someone over the edge, but I would never want to be that person.
yeah.
And like even though people look all happy online and shit, like you just like never know. So just be
Yeah,
nice,
you
because
really
I know
don't.
me saying
Just be
that is not going to
nice.
change anything, but
I
that's how
know,
I think people should be. And
but it
not
really
only to
is
celebrities,
true.
just in general, be nice to like everyone, even if not
Yeah.
everyone warrants it, like just be nice to everyone.
Oh, 100%. Kill them with kindness.
Literally,
For
like that
real.
Selena Gomez song.
I know. What a queen.
Literally. Go buy her Rare Beauty highlighter right now.
I need to buy that actually.
Yes, you do. It's sold out a lot though, but you do.
Oh my god.
Anyways, I feel like
Yeah.
That was all over the place, but I think we talked about important stuff within it, and I mean, we also don't wanna give everything away because people haven't read it yet, and I think they should. But
That's
yeah,
true.
do you have any closing thoughts to say?
I just say I think this book obviously centers a lot around mental health. If you're someone who is struggling, like, just I know how hard it is to like talk to someone, but speaking up is so, so important and it helped me and
Mhm.
it saved me. So just reach out to anybody, honestly. Even like we'll leave like crisis hotlines, I think. Can we do that?
Yeah, we can.
Okay,
It'll
let's do
be in the
that.
show notes.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Cause yeah, just reaching out to anyone, honestly, anyone who you trust, it's really, really important.
Yeah.
And be kind.
Yeah, same. That's what I would say too. And go buy the book. I'm gonna leave a link to buy the book too, so
Yes, go by the look.
you
Yeah,
should
go
read
by
it
the
if you
book.
haven't read it.
It's super, super, super good read.
Yeah, and it's like a quick, easy read too. And like when I was reading it, I felt like I was reading it like in her voice because it was
Me
written
too.
exactly kind of how she speaks.
How she speaks,
Um,
yeah.
so anyways, yeah. Go buy it, and if you buy it and read it, let us know what you think. And
Yes.
yeah. We never end
we'll
it
see you.
properly.
We'll see you or no, but we'll see you next week for a new episode.
Yeah. Okay,
Bye.
bye.